I freaking love this four-wheel drive, mate, honestly. Sometimes I hate it, but today I love it. I'm on a high mountain four-wheel drive track, somewhere in the middle of nowhere in northern Portugal. Incredible, brother, look at this. I'm heading south through the country's rugged interior, following high mountain trails as I head towards the country's West Atlantic coast, ultimately on my way down to North Africa. Across the horizon, as far as the eye can see, it's just mountain range upon mountain range, stacked one on top of the other. Amazing, brother. All the way through it, there's just this tiny little track cut into the mountainside. You see it stretching off into the distance over there. What a trip, man. What a freaking trip this is, honestly. I can't hardly wipe the stupid smile off my face. The goal here is simple. Push as hard as I can over the next couple of days through the country's interior and reach the country's coast. No pavement and no tarmac, only 4x4 tracks and trails allowed. From there, I'll embark on an epic sand route that'll take me all the way to Portugal's southern tip, which will no doubt provide its own set of challenges. But for now, I have my hands full pushing through these mountains. Sometimes, like, this lifestyle feels like a dream. We're on the highest peak for miles around. This is, bear in mind, a trail that I plotted on my phone last night. You know, I had no idea where I wanted to go. I just plotted it in. I was like, that looks like it might be pretty cool. You know? I put this in myself and now I'm here on top of a mountain, mate. Here. It's actually relatively high risk because that is a metre deep, that one. You get yourself really in a spot of bother here. Not a fan of this one at all. Freaking hell. Just want to know where to put my tyres. This track is intense as hell, bro. Okay, so you see down here is just the runoff channel, and that is a metre down. Jeez, as you can see. You see why I don't like this very much, can't you? High stakes if this goes over, mate. Yeah, I'm gonna right now start to reposition my wheels so that they kind of follow the contour of this side and try to do a bit of a serpentine maneuver here. When you're travelling alone like this, there's very little margin for error in situations like this, and they require absolutely all of your concentration to make sure that nothing goes wrong. That was executed perfectly, if I do say so myself. Alright, let's carry on, brother. And I mean, it's still pretty mental, to be honest. Look at this. Wow. Oh, f***ing hell. Try and straddle this out. Whoa. Yeah, this is a true four-wheel drive mountain track, this, bro. Bloody hell. I never thought I'd be signing myself up for something like this when I started this, man, honestly. I thought this was going to be a dirt road. An unusual noise from under the car caught my attention. Here's something going on under there. Let's just get out and check what's going on down there. Something sounding not very nice. No, I think everything's probably alright. It's maybe just, I'm hearing all the smacking off the rocks and stuff. I thought I was going to see something suspension related down there, but no. I'll take it. To be fair to the Land Cruiser, it's taking a beating, you know, and yes, it's giving me a load of hassle. But also, I'm not sure there are that many vehicles in the world that could take this beating day after day after day and just keep on going, you know? Like, yes, I need to do maintenance on it, but it's keeping on going, you know, pretty well as well. I've kind of got to be thankful for that. With the sun rapidly setting on the horizon, I pushed on along the mountain, with thoughts of finding somewhere to make camp beginning to surface front of mind. Just to interrupt your video really quick for a few seconds of your time, if you get value out of these videos, if you like the videos and stuff that I'm putting out here, there is the option to support me on Patreon. I self-fund all of my expeditions, make all my videos from scratch, and I'm trying to be able to make this a sustainable thing so that I can keep bringing you these videos. So if you'd like to check it out, there's a link down below in the comments and the description. There are 3 different tiers and you get different benefits attached to those tiers. We have tons of exclusive content, early access to videos, there's a forum, long form writing, it's the only place that I do long form writing anymore, all on Patreon. So if you'd like to join up, if you'd like to support this expedition and keep seeing these videos in your feed, then you know where to go. Thank you very much, and back to the video. Alright, so we look to be coming down from the mountain now, and we're into a bit of old burnt forestry. I felt glad to have dropped off a bit of altitude. Dropping below the tree line again meant more chances to find somewhere decent to make camp for the night. Alright, so we've got another fallen tree here. This is looking like I could probably just chop it and drive right over it, I think. Alright, we'll see what we can do with the little hand axe. It looks like it's held on with fibres, you know, so I might have a go at it with this, and if not, it'll be the little bush saw. The tree had been felled with a chainsaw, but was still held on by a sizable bit of the trunk and the bark. After sizing it up, I got to work with the hand axe, which made surprisingly short work of it. All sorted with inside of a minute and a half. Yeah, we'll put it into low range for this one because we might need the braking power. Try and approach it head on. Possible. Yeah. Beauty. Amazing. Ah, man, I freaking love this four-wheel drive, mate, honestly. Sometimes I hate it, but today I love it. Yeah, definitely a low-range track again. This is an area of fresh forestry. God damn. Yeah, that's a mega track, that one. Yeah, that's a serious bit of low range track, that one. I think we're going to rejoin something vaguely not mental a little further up, because this is actually pretty mental. Oh shit, this track kind of terminates. Oh shit, it's hardly even a track really. What the hell, brother? Right. Here we go again. No sooner than the words "not mental" were out of my mouth than I realised that I was marooned high and dry, perched high above where the real track lay. So I've once again landed myself in a really interesting predicament here. This is reminiscent of that that bog hole in northern Galicia here. This is a mental descent, but yeah, we've got no choice. Let's do it. But I soon realised this would be an even more hairy bit of four-wheel drive than I first thought. I want to get an idea of what's around me here, because oh shit, I'm glad I did, because look at that. Yeah, that's freaking untenable, so I'm gonna have to go that way further, and then yeah, we'll have to basically like come out here, hope we don't roll, and nose it down here. That's got to be the plan anyway, isn't it? Never a freaking dull moment, brother. is a bit terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I don't like this angle at all. You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go further up there and go around. That's gonna be a lot nicer of a way down off here. I decided that to get down, I'd first have to go up. This would allow me to avoid that horrible tippy angle and allow me to position myself better to take on the descent. I positioned the vehicle as best I could and committed. With the front tyres bumping onto the hard track below, I could breathe a sigh of relief. Compared to the last similar incident, I was going to count this as a success. Now back on the proverbial straight and narrow, I could continue my search for a place to camp for the night. I continued on into a spectacular Portuguese sunset, cruising through forestry areas on four-wheel drive tracks and sun-drenched hamlets in the hills. As the sun dropped below the horizon, I found myself heading back up into altitude, in a weird and slightly disconcerting place, named the Portal do Infierno, or the Portal of Hell. This place is defined by extremely remote, high, mountainous desert, and while strikingly beautiful, does have an oddly, slightly creepy air to it that's difficult to put into words. That, right there, is 1,000 meters down. I've just ascended 1,000 meters pretty much up from the valley. Wow, that is pretty terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, amazing, incredible views, beautiful sunset, but goodness me, it's just a single track with a drop off to the side, no barrier, nothing, to the abyss to the right the whole way up. Woo-hoo-hoo, baby. Incredible, brother. The moon rose, huge and luminous on the horizon, guiding my way through hell. Right, I found this bit just off to the side of the main trail. I think we're gonna camp down here. I think this is gonna be absolutely freaking fine. Sheltered enough. This is gonna be ideal, mate. Pull in right there. No problem. They are massive mountains all the way around. Alright, so finally made it to camp. I'm all set up here, as you can see, and I'm frying something. I've got something pretty special today. So, you know, I'm obviously British. I haven't had fish and chips in a good long while, so that's what we're gonna have tonight. So I managed to find some frozen fish the other day in the butcher's, so that's it there in the sink at the minute. And so I've got all these chips that I've cut up, got them frying in the pan right now. I'm gonna do them in 2 batches because I haven't got that much space, and I want them to crisp off really nicely. And so yeah, we're gonna have fish and chips. The one thing is, I don't have any batter to batter the fish rather. So it's just gonna be like a fillet of fish, deep fried, and some chips. And so that'll be what it is. I have none of the accoutrements either. I've got no mushy peas, I've got no tomato sauce, I've got literally nothing apart from salt and pepper. So we'll see what this is like. I've just also popped a Sagres. I really feel like it was deserved today after the long day and serious four-wheel driving, and especially that mad mountain drive. So yeah, got a Sagres going on. I'm coming around to this actually. I'm actually really enjoying the Sagres. Wherever you are in the world, cheers. Alright, so I've got my chips on the go here. These are absolutely awesome. I've got my fillets of fish. I thought these were double sized, but it turns out it's like half of each fillet. So they're tiny little fillets. But, you know, it is what it is. I think it'll still be good. Like, I could eat probably about 7 of those. But, you know, it'll be what it will be. Alright, so it turns out without the batter, fish and chips is a bit lackluster, I'm not gonna lie. It's just a bit like, oh, so it's just some like boring white fish then and some chips. The batter is what gives it makes it a meal, I think, it turns out. So now we know that. And I've put a bit of Parmesan on the fish just to make something else of it, you know, because it was just like flaccid white fish. Not even like browned, you know, because it was already cooked. Couldn't like brown it or anything like that. So it's just like white fucking fish. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to be fine. All right, so I've just woken up here in the camper. It was a brutally cold night last night. I think it was about -5 or 6. But yeah, it's nice and warm with the sun hitting the side this morning, so we're going to get out, check out our surroundings and make our way off. So I was looking on my maps last night. It was saying this area is called the Portal of Hell. Portal do Infierno. Pretty evocative name, so let's get out of the Portal of Hell. What a weird place. It's covered in this like dead brush, which gives the effect of like a white film over everything. Wow. Yeah, that's an extremely odd place. I can see why they say it looks like a portal of hell. I paused for a moment to take in the magnitude and majesty of my surroundings. One of the most remote and difficult to access areas on the Iberian Peninsula, this rugged desert mountain world is as starkly beautiful as it is inhospitable. Forest fires ripped through here at some point, look. Probably the last season, I reckon, looking at this. Gives the impression of like a hellish landscape, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna just get some breakfast and I think I'm probably gonna take a shower today. It's been a couple of days. I'm gonna do all that, pack up and then head down. So I'm gonna try to make it close to the coast today. I'm not gonna make it all the way to the coast this week, but I want to be well positioned to start taking on our 400k beach and dune route. Yeah, we'll get packed up and on the way pretty quickly today, and yeah, I'll see you on the road. Okay, so here we are, about a quarter of the way down Portugal now. All right, I think I'm ready to leave the Portal of Hell now. So let's do a Vuelta and turn around and get out of here. As I pulled out of my camp spot, I reflected on how far I'd come and how far away from home I now was. Something about places like this can make you kind of pensive. And on this bright, sunny morning in the high desert, I felt the urge to hit the road hard and make it to the coast. That place was fine for an overnight stop, but I've got to say, it was kind of disconcerting, you know, weird place, named the Portal of Hell, that weird like brown dead grass over everything, and also the fact that it had been in a forest fire, it just added to a weird otherworldly sort of feeling, you know. So yeah, not gonna tell you that I'm not glad to get out of there, really, to be honest. I hit the trail southwest in earnest, striking out across a high open plateau at over 2,000 meters above sea level. What a weird place. The first part of today's drive would be characterized by traversing colossal mountain ranges, sheets of rock hanging in the sky, layer upon layer, as far as the eye could see. I pushed on via gravel trails and 4x4 tracks, sometimes following mountain ridgelines, on other occasions dropping down into the valleys that separated them. what, mate? I haven't seen another soul in over 4 days. How mad is that? 4 days I haven't seen another car, I haven't seen another person. Just driving through the wilds of extreme rural Portugal. Amazing. Wow. These at 1500 meters are, I think, higher than anything we have inside the UK. You might correct me down in the comments, I don't know, but I think 1500 meters is higher than the height of Snowdon and Ben Nevis, I think. Might be wrong. As I pushed on through the afternoon, I reached the other side of the portal of hell, and signs of civilization began to re-emerge. I diverted towards a little town that I spotted on my map, because I was in sore need of a tank of fuel and some supplies. What a beautiful little village. I love Portugal so much. The architectural style is fantastic. I love these granite cobbled streets. So just passing through one of these little villages, and I saw this mini supermarket, and it looks a little bigger than the usual ones. You know, the tiny little kind of hamlet ones that I've been using. So I'm gonna go in there and buy a few bits and pieces. I just need like the basics, you know. All right, I've got an absolute treasure trove of gear in there. So check this out. I finally organised the fridge, which has been a long time coming. So I've got all my stuff here, tomatoes, got all my meat in there, beers in there, which is brilliant. I've got a broccoli in there, more beers and like sandwich meats and stuff. Yeah, all in, that's pretty brilliant. I've also got some dry foods, some chocolate, a bit of pasta, some like dry cream, whatever you call that, a bunch of nice stuff, some grapes in there, got some pastries to eat now. All right, so this little place had a bakery attached to it, so I've got what I think is like a sausage roll here, so I'm gonna, yeah, it definitely is a sausage roll. So I'm gonna try that, and then I got this mystery pasty. I have no, just dropped it everywhere. No idea what's in it, whether it's sweet or savoury. It smells savoury, but then it could just be the pastry. So pretty. Oh my god, I need to brush myself off after that one. Yeah, that one might not be an eating in the car kind of job. So yeah, we'll have the sausage roll on the road. Next stop will be the fuel station that serves this little town. A really cool little fuel station here. This is like classic style. This place had a real community vibe. I went in to pay and took the opportunity to grab a little coffee. Obrigado. ¿Y cuánto por eso? 70. Alright, back on the trail in our effort to get to the coast today. So yeah, I think we're going to make it. It's 4 o'clock. I've got about 2 hours more driving on the trail, I think, today. Just had a little coffee in there. It was really nice. I love the culture here, man. It's just so laid back. No one cares about anything. You just chill. So a little coffee for 90 euros, a little espresso, 90 euro cents. I also got myself a massive bunch of grapes before as well. I'm kind of like scrying out. You know, I was thinking before, I was thinking my diet's better on the road than it is anywhere else. You just like find stuff like this along the way, eat it, you know, in the driver's seat. It's like really good for you. And you get more fruit on the road. I headed back out towards the edge of town in search of the dirt road that would take me away from this place and towards the coast. Alright, let's go under this thing then. Amazing, brother. I reached the coast at just after 6 and checked in to a little Overlanding campsite right there on the beach. This would be the first paid spot I've been to in many days, but today I wanted something predictable, somewhere I could do laundry, take a nice hot shower and prepare for the next 400 kilometers of coastal off-road driving. Alright, so I'm in like an Overlanding campsite at the very start of this trail. This is a really cool spot because it's right here on the beach basically, so it's sunset. I'm coming down here with a beer to watch it ahead of my departure on this trail through the dunes. I'm kind of staying for a few days to get ahead with my media, cataloguing all that, making sure all my SD cards are clear, ready for this next stage. I'm going to be stocking up and just preparing generally. Once we set off on this trail, there's going to be no stopping until we get to the other end. It's about 300 kilometers, I believe, of full off-road on the sand through the dunes. Wow. Not a freaking soul about. Mate, I've got to say, Portugal is rapidly becoming one of my favourite overlanding destinations. It is unbelievable out here. The wildness of the place. You know how sometimes in life you just have a feeling that you're going to look back on this moment in time with like extreme fondness, not rose-tinted spectacles, but real like, wow, that was an amazing moment, you know. I feel like this is going to be one of those, not this specific moment, but this larger period of my life, you know. Like, when do you ever get the time and the freedom to do what I'm doing right now? You know, I'm just absolutely winging it, driving through Portugal at my own pace, doing extreme off-road overlanding endeavours, and now I'm about to set out onto a legendary beach and dune route that I don't know what it's going to bring. I don't know what is going to be out there. I don't know how long it's going to take me, and yet I'm about to go do it alone. It's freaking cool, man. Look at this right now. Oh mate, this looks like one of those dangerous beaches, man. Yeah, I don't know about swimming in there, to be honest. Big breakers they are. Yeah, this is one of those moments that you really appreciate in real time. I think they're rare sometimes in life. Like, oftentimes in my life I will look back on moments and I'll go, wow, that was amazing. I didn't really appreciate it at the time, or that was incredible, I want to do it again. Like, I wish I'd thought these thoughts when I'm in it, you know. I feel like this is going to be one of those moments that I look back on and think, yep, that was sick. I freaking did appreciate it.